settled and then.
Oh no.
But we're on.
Hopefully people are coming in. Well, as you come in, say hi to us in the chat and
there we go.
Yay! I just said if people are coming in, I told them to say hi in the chat. I was hoping since you were gone that it was still working.
This is so weird. I'm even like hardwired to like the whatever you're supposed to do when you're streaming, and tonight it's just being particularly obstinate. Brat.
So fun.
It is.
This is my like first YouTube live.
Ooh.
Yes.
We're christening you.
You are the inaugural evening. February 9th.
We'll just give people a few minutes and then we'll start. We don't need, I mean, it's wonderful to have guests, but we can also, we have plenty planned just for you.
Now, can you see if people are watching on your end?
Yeah, so there's 2 people right now that have joined us. And then, yeah, hello. And then some people will comment and say hello. And people are used to us. Well, I would say me in particular, when I used to host this with my daughter.
So those I've seen.
Yeah, really slow to get started. So people know they have like a hard 10 minutes. Sometimes they think they have a hard 10 minutes, but this, I'm trying to be way more prompt. Hello, Renee.
Yay.
Yay. So oftentimes they will come in slowly because they know that Carrie tends to ramble a bit.
You know.
I mean, it got so bad, I think, for the Saturday morning ones. People would show up 10 minutes late and we still hadn't started because Annabeth and I were just like, blah, 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 blah. So, whatever. We'll give everybody a minute or 2 more and then we'll go ahead and get this show on the road.
Awesome. So I assume people from all over the country, maybe even the world.
Yeah, Renee, if it's the right Renee, I'm thinking, is it the Renee? I am going to mess up. Annabeth was my like wheelhouse person of like names. I'm trying to think if Renee was from Mentor Roundtable or not. But if it is the Renee I'm thinking of, maybe it's not. She might be from Out by You.
Oh.
So I guess we could say, Renee, if you're comfortable, you could tell us where you're from.
Say, Carrie, you don't know what you're talking about? Or, yes, you were right, Carrie. Or maybe she's somebody we don't even know yet.
Regardless, glad you're here and chose to be here.
And she's like, and goodbye, people. All right, we'll give everybody one more minute and then we will start.
Totally fun.
What's that?
Fun when people trickle in.
It is fun when they trickle in, yes.
Well, and we'll get going and we'll be talking, and then all of a sudden somebody new pops up in the chat, and we're like, oh, hey!
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, you are out not too far then. That's right, East Coast.
Okay. Nice.
So fun.
Yeah.
It's like when you're at a wedding and you're looking for your table.
All right, you ready, Mandi?
I'm ready.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Doodle and Chat with Friends. I am Carrie Baughcum, and this is Doodle and Chat with Friends. A little bit of doodling, some chatting, and friends that we have combined to create a whole lot of who knows what kind of fun. And my co-host,
Mandi Tolen.
And then tonight we have Dr. Rayna Freedman, who we are super excited who is here. What was I going to do? I lost my train of thought.
Tell everybody how we actually all met in real life. Because usually when you do these things, you have not met in real life, like how many times you on Twitter. And I want to meet you in real life. And it just never happens. Well, I have actually met and dined with both of these amazing women in real life. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
All right, so Carrie has this awesome bowl in front of her, and inside of this bowl has some topics to talk about tonight. A lot of topics about Rayna and some fun little topics that hopefully will pop up as we go along. So we are going to doodle as we chat with Rayna tonight. And if you would like to doodle with us, you can doodle Rayna's responses. You can doodle your own responses, whichever you would prefer to do. And then when we're finished, we will be posting our doodles on Twitter with the hashtag Doodle and Chat. We would love for you guys to post your doodles as well.
And then, Mandi, did you want to share a little bit about Rayna?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For some reason, I thought you were going to do that, but I will pull that document up because I would love to introduce Rayna. So Dr. Rayna Freedman is an elementary educator in Massachusetts. She loves to create engaging learning opportunities for her students. Hopefully we get to talk a little bit about her JJs Secret Agents tonight. She's involved in MassQ, which if you follow her on Twitter, she does post a lot about MassQ. She's been the president of MassQ, and recently I just worked with her with the MassQ virtual conference. She was my room moderator for the conference last week. I love that Rayna shares freely with educators. She posts on Twitter all the time. She also shares at a lot of conferences. One of the things, and I'm not going to say that I would love it about Rayna, but she's such an amazing person. And as this pandemic started, it was difficult for all of us. But for Rayna, she started her pandemic with a cancer diagnosis. And in the middle of writing her dissertation to become Dr. Rayna Freedman, she persevered through all of that. So I can say she's a cancer survivor, and she now advocates for colon cancer awareness, which I think is just absolutely fabulous. And I'm excited that my friend Rayna is on the show tonight.
Yes, welcome, Rayna.
Yay! I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We're super excited too. So Mandi and I are going to turn on our cameras, or I guess I'm going to turn the cameras on, and so people can see us doodling along. And then Rayna, every once in a while, will ask you to share
my blank paper.
Yay, you got the paper. Share with us what you're drawing. Welcome, Keisha. Are you by? So Keisha is a Doodle and Chat regular, often with her daughter. She would join us on Saturday mornings. Are the girls with you tonight, Keisha, or is it just you? And I'm going to go ahead and write Rayna's name on mine while I ask Keisha to answer the question. Rayna, you have some of my favorite letters in your name. A and Y are my particularly favorite letters to draw.
Oh, they're so fun. So it has been butchered, but you spelled it correctly, but I would expect you to.
Well, thank you. I bet you get some E's in there every once in a while, I'm guessing.
E's, I's. My friends at the Shake Shack, I don't ever tell them how to spell it because I love what comes out on the receipt.
That's the truth.
Who's going to get it right?
Yes, but I love me some Shake Shack, so worth it. You can spell my name however you want.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been there before. I don't think we have any in Illinois.
We have one in my front yard, which will be right near the Friendly Toast. We have good restaurants there.
All right, Rayna. So as Mandi mentioned, we have the bowl that knows. We call it the bowl that knows because it always seems to have just the right question. And no matter what we're talking about. So we've got a few sprinkled in that are Rayna special.
Oh, I
research questions. And then there's a couple just for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the first one.
Woohoo.
And
I'm afraid. Should I be afraid?
No, this is so much fun.
But we do pride ourselves in doing our homework.
Okay.
I might have reached out to Kim, who gave me a little bit of information.
So. Oh, it should be good.
We have our people. All right, here's a good one. It says, you recently became Dr. Freedman.
I did.
What was your dissertation on, and why did you decide to study it?
Oh, God. All right. So I called it Walking the Gangplank to Professional Development. And I focused on what veteran elementary educators needed for technology professional development, actually. And I chose that because it's something that's so intuitive to me. It's not intuitive to most of my colleagues. So I really wanted to better understand what they needed in order to feel successful. And what I was trying to prove, and I do have to say that I started this work in 2015, what I was trying to prove was if the world ever shut down, elementary educators were not going to be ready for it if we had to go virtual. And in the middle of my dissertation where I was trying to prove it, as Mandi mentioned, I got sick with colon cancer, so I had to pause the work. The pandemic happened, and then I literally watched my dissertation come to life all over the world. And then I had to go back. I went to Northeastern. I had to go back to the IRB board because I wanted to include some pieces of what actually happened in my research. But what I found was I actually found some seminal work, and I was telling someone the other day, I have no idea what to do with it. But what I found in my research was that any educator can go into a content-based professional development for the content they teach, and they might not get something out of it personally, but they at least can understand it. So if I go to reading PD, I'm going to understand how to use that in my classroom. If I go to science, I'm going to understand whatever it is they taught. The technology, everyone said, is not, it's generational. So you actually have to understand the generation of your user before you plan the professional development, because what I need in a Gmail training is not going to be what Mandi or Carrie or Renee or I don't want to, is it, how do you, is it Keisha? Yeah. I didn't want to mess it up. So yeah. So what all of us need. So that's what I was really interested in finding out. I mean, some of the things I found out were like, people need coaches that come in and support them actually on a daily basis. They're afraid of it. A lot of them don't use it in their daily lives, and they're worried about how that control, and the kids know more than them. But the big piece for me was the generational piece, because we never look at professional development. How often do leaders look at PD as generational?
True.
And technology has always been a passion of mine. So I wanted to understand how to better support educators with getting there, except we all hit the fast forward button and got there pretty quick. But just because everybody was handed a Chromebook doesn't mean everybody understands how to use it with kids.
100%.
So that
is a true story. Tell me again the title of it, Rayna.
I'd have to look up. Hold on.
That's all right. You said walking the gangplank
of professional development, but I want to make sure that was the exact title.
Well, that's okay. I just wanted to add it on here.
You're going to do it because I always felt like that's what we're doing, right? Like we're walking on this gangplank, and sometimes some of the PD you're like jumping off and don't even know.
True story.
But yeah, walking the gangplank of professional development. I was right. If you're like married to this work for years and then you let it go and you're like, okay. So yes, yep. It was a case study of elementary educators' digital professional learning needs. And I looked at different educators from K to 5. And not just classroom teachers. I interviewed special educators, music teachers, art teachers. So it wasn't just classroom teachers that this was coming from. And I interviewed people that were literally retiring, which I'm sure they were probably kissing the ground. They retired before the pandemic.
Right.
And I also interviewed brand new people.
That's awesome.
Yep. So hopefully I answered your question.
You did.
With my gangplank. And I can share this with the studio audience. I'm not sure how many people do this, but I chose to defend my dissertation in front of my 5th graders.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yep. So I did it in school. I didn't take the half day. I turned on Zoom and off we went. And my mom, my dad, and my sister also came.
That is so fun.
They said I was the first doctoral candidate with that many people. But what I was saying is in this, this COVID universe, right? When you defend your dissertation, if I had done it at home, I would have been in this space. And then once they said, congratulations, Dr. Freedman, you get off the Zoom and then I'd be looking around like I'm by myself. Whereas my kids were screaming and jumping up and down, and I had, colleagues coming in from the hallways. So I didn't have to do it alone. And we do so much alone these days that was really special.
That is special.
That is cool. My kids actually wanted to do that. And so I did get to share the recording of it with them because they gave me permission to record it. I wish I had done that because my AP statistics kids really wanted to see how the defense of a dissertation went.
Yep.
And so they were excited to see the recording of it. But when I saw that you had done that, I'm like, that's really cool. I wish I had done that.
So I thought of it because my kids do independent research projects once a month where they have like their own passion project. They pick a question that they're wondering about, and then they have to research their answer and then share it with the class. And at this point in the year, the kids are doing activities with it. And I wanted the kids to see like we call it Discovery Quest or a DQ, not to be confused with Dairy Queen. And it's a giant presentation. So they got to see me doing a huge DQ. And what I loved was at the end, this my little George looks at me and says, "How long did it take you?" And I said, "Oh, 7 years." He's like, "So what I do in an hour took you 7 years." I was like, "Well, buddy, it was a little different, but yes, you're just building up." So there's the answer to that first question.
Nice.
And I know, Mandi, you did it right after. Were you right after me?
I was right before you.
Oh,
I think we defended like within a week of each other.
We did. I knew we were close. Yeah. So I have my Doodle and Chat with a crown.
Oh, I just lost her.
Oh no.
No, I just did that. Hold on, Rayna. There we go.
There. And then I just did the chat with like a graduation cape coming off with the doctor in the middle.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
I put an ice cream cone on there for DQ.
Okay.
Nice.
It's sitting on the end of the gangplank.
I went with a diving board versus a gangplank because I was like I wasn't going to hit that. So, and then I've got the little life preserver because I imagined, you're throwing that out there, and then there's a cane for the old people, and then a little baby in the floaty, and then there's hands that are just like, "Help me!" That's how I imagined it. All right, let's see what's next. All right. Oh, what is your favorite part of living in Massachusetts?
What if I told you there is none? I actually have a more favorite place to be.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
No, I'll start with what is my favorite part about living here, actually. God, I was born and raised here, bred here, but I love that the state is so different depending where you are in the state, right? Like you could be in the city of Boston, which is so rich with history with the American Revolution and the molasses that ended up on the city and all the sports and everything. And then you go out to the western part of the state and you feel like you're like in the middle of the mountains. And then I can also be really close to any of the New England states, right? So you can get in your car and within 2 hours really be in a New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, Providence. We're near New York. So we're close to everybody. But little known fact about me, if I had my choice, I actually would not be here.
So where would you be?
I would be in my condo in Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Sunshine, the ocean. I mean, I went to college in Vermont because I needed to be near an ocean and a mountain, but I really do prefer the beach and the sand and the pool and all that stuff. But when it came time to looking for jobs, my father said I had to come home and teach in Massachusetts because of the amazing pension system here, and I shouldn't go anywhere else. And he was correct. So I came home to teach. And I do have to say, I'm very fortunate because where I teach, the community is unbelievable. So that's another really good part of being in Massachusetts. My family's here. Students, parents, and my own family.
So these state questions are getting me. My weird part of Massachusetts looked like a foot that's kicking somebody.
I didn't even try. I was like, not even gonna try that one.
So it's not awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Rayna, what how many brothers and sisters do you have?
So I have one sister. She is she's currently raising 3 children, all under the, I think my niece is going to be 13, so all under the age of 12 and under. But she is also a fashion designer. And she worked for Jones, New York, Bandolino. She did Vera Wang's wedding book, though her name's not in the book, but you hear that right here. She did the book. So I feel she's done a lot of great things. But she's in Connecticut. But because I live in Massachusetts, I can hop in my car and see her. I've never been to Nantucket. I've never been to Martha's Vineyard. I have been to the Cape because my sister gets a house there, so sometimes I'll go visit. But usually I'm at the Cape for conferences and work. I just never really stayed around here to do things. I always got in a plane and went somewhere.
I put the Florida sun.
Yeah, I got the sun too. Little big sunglasses there.
My son's a little terrifying, but I'm also not going to change it, so it's okay.
It's totally fine. Threw you for a loop, though. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I like living here, but I never really thought about it because I know kind of where I'm going to end up.
In Florida?
I think so, yeah. Anyone's welcome to come visit.
Listen, I'll take you up on that.
Right.
I like to visit Florida.
Anytime. It's just a different way of life.
It is. It's slower and the weather's different and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure about what the summers will be like. I might fly back here in the summer. I'll be like that person. It's too hot.
So funny that you bring up Florida because I grew up in Florida for my elementary years. And so like an hour, I don't know which direction, hour out of Orlando. But summers are wicked hot. Like you just take a shower and then just get ready to sweat. It's just, and then the rain is weird. Like it'll rain for 5 minutes and then the rest of your day can go on, you know?
Yep.
But the humidity is wicked. I'll say that.
Yeah, it can be.
But you know, you have a pool usually in your backyard, which was always fun that we had that. So you just go float around for the day.
Which is always good.
Yes. All right, I think we're ready for another question. Mandy's finishing up her Massachusetts.
my boot.
What is the orange on yours, Mandy?
Oh, it's the crazy sun.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, it's just okay.
All right, Bull, here we go.
Oh, this is like the magic bowl.
Well, the bowl is giving us like all Rayna the whole time. Here we go. So where did you get the title JJs Secret Agents? Where did that come from? Tell us about that.
Okay, so when I was 22 and I was finishing up my, you're 22 and you're a senior in college, right? So when I was finishing up my student teaching, I think I was 22. When I was finishing up my student teaching, my mentor teacher, who was amazing, Sue Jenkins, up in CP Smith School in Burlington, Vermont, said, I really want you to go and observe some other teachers just to see what they do, which I always think is great, right? Like even back then, the pineapple chart, like go see what other people are doing. So I went into this room and the teacher pulls out a mug with popsicle sticks and says, okay, sit down. We're going to investigate you. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, these kids are secret agents and you're going to pull these sticks out of this mug and they're going to ask you questions and you get to ask them questions. It's just how we get to know our guests. And so I did it. And I was so floored by it that I actually asked her about it. And she told me that she tells the kids they're secret agents and everything's tied to the theme of investigation. And she said that she, like back in the day, I'm sure people still do it, where you have files for all your kids and you got to label everything. She said all she has to do is just number everything. And I thought, that's really cool. And she said, I see your wheels spinning. When you have your own class, you're going to blow this out of the water. And that's what we've done. So when I started teaching, I worked at the Jordan Jackson Elementary School in Mansfield, Massachusetts. So that's the JJ and the secret agents, because they're secret agents training for the student sector of the FBI. And on the first day of school, very similar to Harry Potter and the Sorting Hat, I hold the mug up and the kids come up, get a certificate, and the stick that they pick, or the stick that feels them, right? So the stick's picking them, that's their agent number for the year. And then everything is numbered. So I'm really into like just supporting kids with executive functioning, right? So all their folders are color coded. So everybody's science folder is green, everybody's math folder is blue. But then I put matching Avery labels with their agent numbers and an image on the matching notebook and folder. And their boxes of crayons, their pencil boxes, everything's got their agent number. When we have guests, we do the same thing. They get to ask that person 5 questions. That person has to be school appropriate. That person gets to ask them 5 questions they want to know from a 5th grader. So 10 kids are engaged in this interview process. We have secret agent privileges. The kids can have snack time when they want, because as an adult, no one tells me when I have to eat. So why should snack time be at 10? It's anytime you graze, you want to eat in the morning. You don't want your lunch at lunch, you can eat your lunch at 1:30. Like bring it back from the cafeteria. I provided all kinds of flexible seating. Target's great, especially around the fall with the dorm furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if you see it, get it, because once it goes, you're never going to see it again until the following year, I've learned. Because I love the bungee chairs. My dad actually drove an hour and a half to find the last one in the area.
Hey, Dad.
Dads. Superheroes. So yeah, so we have flexible seating. They don't have to sign out of the classroom, and when they do sign out, they go over to a sign out area. It's got lights, and so there's 2 lights for bathroom, 2 lights for water, 2 lights for office, and then 2 lights for nurse. And they put the light on and sign out. And I actually made my own passes, because there were not passes that existed that didn't say boys and girls. So I wanted gender neutral passes. So I made my own passes. So the kids take the pass. It's got like a little like secret agent superhero type thing on it. It says where they're going. They put it on their desk, put the light on when they leave. So that way I quickly know in an emergency how many lights are on. So how many kids I need to look for that are missing.
Nice.
Come back and sign in. I mean, I allow them to have lunch in the classroom every day, unless like today I just needed like 20 minutes of silence. Because yesterday I picked up all trash on the floor. So I said, no, we've lost that for today. But yeah, they come back and can have lunch in the classroom, which they absolutely love. And I learned from talking to kids that they hate eating in the cafeteria. I have kids that find it too noisy. I have kids that don't like listening to other people chew. I have kids that like to read. I have kids that just want to sit with their friends. And with the pandemic, they have assigned seating. So coming back into the classroom removes any sort of cafeteria anxiety. And what I like about it is it builds community and this social piece. And then one of the things that I also love about this Secret Agents, which I just did today, actually, when at the end of the year, they write a letter to their future self, and I get together with as many of them and their parents as possible when they're graduating high school, and we open up this time capsule that we've made all together, and they go through it and they read their letters. So last year I ended up doing 4 classes of reunions, because I had switched grades twice, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, out in a field in town. The town donated the field to me. I hired a DJ. All the parents came picnic style, what we usually do in a restaurant in a private room, which I just sent out the save the date today. So one of the things that our community does is it's a community, and it's not just a community of current secret agents. It's a community of, my 3rd graders are 30. So 22 years of kids. And then that hashtag that you're referring to, the JJs Secret Agents. Years ago when I was at ISTE, they talked about branding yourself with a hashtag. I went to a presentation, and I wish I remembered who had said it, but somebody out there said it. And so I came up with that hashtag because they said that way all of my stuff will be together that I post for school. Mm-hmm. And then my kids also have their own hashtag. So if they want to post on social through me, so it's my account. So if they have a question for an author, I'll tweet it out. But if it's from Agent 7, it will say, you know, the question and then hashtag Agent 7. So their names are never used, but they can sort as they get older their social posts when they were in 5th grade, if they want to find them. And they also blog and have their own podcast. So these are like things that they do. Like they podcast about the day in the life of a 5th grader, and their blog is a day in the life of a secret agent. And so
you'll love it.
It all ties together. And I feel really special to have all of that, because I know that there's like always a few kids that come back, but I have a whole slew.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's been fun. I wish I could draw an agent. Yours looks
like I spelled choice wrong, so choi. There we go.
There we go. For some reason, my microphone muted me. I've actually been trying to have a conversation with y'all, and you so it's fine. It was probably not important. Rayna, I did notice the other day, though, that you had posted about one of your previous secret agents that they're in a show, like a television show. Is that right?
Oh, my God. That was so bizarre. Yes, Matt, Agent 5. Yes.
Agent 5. She remembers what agent he was.
I still talk to him. I was watching, was it Young Sheldon? No, not Young Sheldon. It's on ABC. I don't even remember what I was watching, but whatever I was watching, it came on after. And I looked up and there he was on the television. So I paused the television and took a picture and was like, "Is this you?" And he's
That's
like,
very
"Yeah."
cool.
So he started off, he graduated from Mansfield, from this area. Actually, he didn't go to the high school. He went to Bishop Fee-Ann, and he went to Emerson and dropped out of Emerson and went to LA to chase his dreams. And I remember when he dropped out of Emerson, he called. He was so afraid to tell me he was dropping out of college. And I was like, "No, you're going after it. Like, you're going to figure it out." So he moved out to LA. He's done like a movie. He was supposed to be in, what is that Showtime show that everyone's talking about with the Hornets or the Bees? That's in the title.
Oh, Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. So he was supposed to be in that. And he flew out for the pilot. But because of the pandemic, he was telling me they sent him and the other lead home and had to hire Canadian actors.
Oh,
interesting.
So you never know where you're going to see your former students, because mine showed up in my living room on a television. But what I love is I have a relationship with him that I literally could text him. I mean, we text, so I texted him the picture.
That's very cool.
Just to make sure it definitely was him.
Before I say something, let me make sure this is really you.
Yes, and it was.
That's
so
crazy.
That was really neat. Drama.
Makes the world smaller, which is fun.
Yes. So hopefully that answers your question all about my secret agents.
That's fabulous.
I am so glad that the bowl knew that I wanted the answer to that question.
Yeah. It's been great. And anytime a kid asks why I'm learning something, I'm like, we're investigating it. We're secret agents. And it's like, done. The why has been, because, kids need the why.
They do.
Yeah.
I love it. I think we can go on to another question. I'm like filled up half my page with all the secret agent goodness. I also love, it's totally themed, but the anchoring that happens, right? And that what you're solidifying, besides the community, but all the little nuances that are just, they seem like happy accidents. And I know from having a theme class for myself that sometimes that is what happens.
Yeah.
But it's all the little things that make a really big difference for a classroom, It's just awesome. Love it. All right, let's see what else the bowl knows. What other goodness we can steal from Rayna's brain?
Okay, whatever you would like, whatever the bowl wants.
The bowl gets. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a different one.
Okay.
How do you prefer your potatoes? Baked, mashed, fried, scalloped, or any other different way?
How do I like my potato? I actually like a sweet potato with marshmallow.
Ooh, yum.
What is it? Like you almost like can put some caramel sauce on. It's like dessert on the side with your steak. If I could eat a lot of steak, I miss steak.
So sweet potatoes with marshmallow.
Sweet potatoes with
the gooey stuff, right? Have you ever had one of those, like a fully loaded sweet potato?
It muted me again. Gosh darn it. I said sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah, if I had to prefer any type of potato, I'm going for a sweet potato. You could have it naked or you could dress it up.
Well, I prefer the naked sweet potatoes, but I actually had one of those today for lunch, just a naked sweet potato with a little bit of chicken on the side. It was some barbecue chicken though, so it was good.
Yes, sweet potatoes are good. I feel like they're the forgotten potato because you didn't really ask about sweet potato, so that just shows my thinking. I just went in a whole other direction.
That is okay. Oh, I just failed on that. Oh well. Went to draw a 2-2 and it didn't work. Because the sweet potato is saying I come naked or dressed up.
Right,
I love it. I love it.
Here we go.
I do not even know how to draw a sweet potato. I don't know what this looks like. This just looks like a lump of stuff.
I drew a little bit. I don't even know. I've added. So I had, by my Massachusetts sign, I drew a little sweet potato farm.
I love it. I love it.
So tell me about your green with the crisscrossing.
That's my school.
Oh, I love it.
My state, right?
Yes. And I love your magnifying glass.
Yes. With my investigate flagging out of it.
This is fabulous.
Oh, yes. I was telling them earlier that this is out of my comfort zone because I do like to doodle, but with words and images and shapes.
So my husband he's just popped in and he's like laughing at himself, I'm sure, upstairs because we're talking about naked and
what's happening in that show today? Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. He would say that he likes not fully loaded. He likes mashed potatoes with sour cream and lots of butter. I think I'm a French fry kind of person. But I do like sweet potato
fry.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Nice and crispy.
Yes. So especially, yes, you are right.
I tried to put a hat on my sweet potato.
I can't see because it's just me still.
I know.
I toast the island.
So I tried to put a hat on my sweet potato. I'm not really sure. So I have the naked and the dressed.
I love it.
I love it.
And those are marshmallows. I mean, my sweet potato is not great either. It almost looks like it's a mouth with some messed up teeth.
It's very dressed up in its own unique little way.
Yeah.
Maybe if I put some butter on it. Although butter might actually make this adventure worse, but that's okay. Let's try it. So now they have yellow teeth.
Watch why she does.
There we go. Now we have some yellowed teeth as well.
It looks like little cheese squares in my opinion.
So maybe it's a sweet potato with cheese. Like, you don't know.
It's got character.
That it does. Does.
All right, let's see what else the bowl has for us tonight.
Oh, there's a lot of questions in that bowl.
There are. There's a couple that I'm hoping we get to. Come on, Bull, read my mind. Sometimes I want to cheat and go for the question that I know is like, but then I'm like, no, trust the Bull. Trust the Bull. I'm going to skip this one because it's about the secret agent ones, and we already talked about the reunion. So
yeah,
I'm going to say sorry, Bull, on that one.
I just sent my save the date out.
Yes, you did. All right, here we go. Why can't I open this?
I'd help you, but I'm too far away.
This is a really big question. How did you get involved in MassQ? What advice would you give others if they wanted to get involved in their regional tech association?
Oh boy, the true story. I faced a lot of adversity for being progressive. I was always pushing the envelope and doing things I think that many weren't ready for necessarily. So I had a principal one year that said, I have to bring you somewhere. It's you're going to find your people and you'll see it. And she took me to Gillette Stadium in 2010. And we are the only conference run out of a stadium in the country.
Nice.
I walked into that stadium and felt like I was Alice in Wonderland. Like I didn't know where to look, where to go. I mean, to go to to be privileged enough to go to some of these conferences and feel the energy and be able to learn things where people are taking what I'm doing to the next level, it made me realize that there is a whole world out there of progressive educators that are trying new things and using tools and figuring out how to reach their students where they are. And I absolutely loved it. And I came back and the superintendent at the time said I would never go again. And I looked at her and I said, I will find the loophole. And I did. The following year, I applied to present with my art and music teacher on an integrative project we were doing. And we got into present. And when you get into present, your lead presenters are free. So the school didn't actually have to pay for us to go. So I went back the second year as a presenter and I started talking to people and meeting people. And one of my friends who was, I don't know if he was president at the time, I think he was, felt like after talking to me that the classroom teacher voice was missing from the board of directors, that they had a lot of tech directors and a superintendent or a principal, but not a teacher on the board. And he advocated for me, he pushed me to apply, and then he advocated for me to join the board. And in 2013, 3 years after that first toe dip in, I joined the board of directors, and I started with, like, I like to call us the party police. I was the co-chair of development and outreach. We called it DOC at the time. So it was like we were going out on road shows and trying to tell people about what MassQ does and have all kinds of social events for members and non-members to bring like-minded people together. And then I joined the conference committee and started running the conference out of Gillette, which has ballooned. I mean, the pandemic sort of put a pause, but we will have our 40th back in October at Gillette Stadium for anyone who's interested. RFPs or requests for proposals go out sometime this spring. And I believe we're looking at a hybrid event. So if people want to come virtually or present virtually, that's going to be an option. It will be a scaled back version of the big event, but we usually have about 4,000 people. Our vendors have been unbelievable. It's been so great to build relationships with them and see that side of the world, because that's not something you usually see as a teacher. And so after running the conference for a few years, I decided to run for president, and the rest is history. I got elected by the membership, which was great. And I took over as president-elect, and the president stepped down a year early. So I actually not only ran the organization an extra year as president, but ran it through the pandemic while battling colon cancer.
And mid-dissertation.
And did a dissertation and taught. So yes, and if anyone's wondering, no, I'm not married, and no, I don't have children. So it is, because I know people always ask, how do you do it? And I think you could do those things married with kids.
I gave you a crown instead of a president, whatever. So
yeah, but yeah, it's in what else was it? Was it just what was the second part? What advice would I give others if they wanted to be more involved. So yeah, so there's actually ISTE, which is the parent group. There's queues in almost every state, including Alaska and Australia, right? They're all over the place. So I highly suggest looking into them because they not only give grants out for educators, they give professional development, they do networking events. There's all kinds of ways to bring people together and get connected. And then through that, like I got connected with the people in Indiana because I had presented there. I got connected with the people in Nevada and San Gabriel Union Valley in California. So like you start to get connected with the other people in the queues. And then when you go to the bigger conferences, you finally start meeting these people that you've like learned things with. And all of the people that I've met are just such good-hearted people and want to share, want to learn, want to grow. And the conversations I have been so enriching for my life. So I would suggest if you're looking for that, see what's available in your area. And like I did, I toe dipped. I joined a committee actually first before I joined the board to see what it was like. But they're always looking for volunteers because most of them are volunteer run. Oh, look, we have somebody that knows SGVQ. Yay.
Carla's here. Carla is also one of our Doodle and Chatters. I believe
I highly suggest
right Texas, I think.
I think I presented at SGVQ.
We did.
Did we? Okay.
David asked us to do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We did.
So yeah, so there's the answer to that question. Which was a good question.
Your life is very full. My paper is almost filled.
I like to fill my bucket.
No, I love it. I have like an Alice in Wonderland meets goalpost and football.
Okay, I want to see your Alice in Wonderland. Oh, you drew the ears.
Yeah. Well, the bunny, because it's my go-to, right? And then I tried to do the Mad Hatter hat, but it got meshed a little bit. But then I did the whole, I haven't used this in a while, but like the whole tin can with the string thing, because she said, you know, she got connected with other people.
Well, so my Alice in Wonderland, like, could be better.
I mean, my teapot is a little bit heavy on the spout.
So, but I also have a plug to get plugged into your local. So
yes, I think it's important to look into that to support your local stuff. I did a football with fire flames coming out of it.
I love it. Can we see?
Midnights.
Can we see, Rayna?
Oh my God, it looks like a blimp, but I tried.
Yeah, I love it.
You are all in. I love it.
I love it too.
But yeah, that was what inspired me. That and Twitter pretty much saved my career.
Right. I could agree. I couldn't agree more between conferences and Twitter. Yeah.
Which was what my dissertation was about.
And actually, you know, I know that there's a lot of conferences that people sometimes can't afford to go to, and something that MassQ has done teacher scholarships that vendors will look at schools who are free, reduced lunch, low income, and support educators who we really work hard with the diversity, equity, and inclusion in our organization. And I'm sure we're not the only one. And so we offer scholarships to get people there that we know might not be able to.
That is awesome. That's really awesome. Well, yeah, because I mean, Mandi and I met at a conference and on Twitter, I guess. So yeah, the world it's a very small place because of conferences and the connections that we get to have, you know, on Twitter and things like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you know what I'm finding now is you don't actually have to attend the conference. You can just go visit the city and attend all the social events. A lot of vendors actually are getting smart and aren't paying. I mean, it's they should be supporting the organizations, but instead of paying for a booth on the vendor floor, they're just going to Starbucks and doing meetings out of a Starbucks downtown. So like there's all kinds of things that are happening.
That's interesting.
That are making it accessible for people.
That is interesting. All right, I think we have time for one more question. I have space for one. Well, I do not know where it's going to go, but it'll go somewhere.
Okay. I have space for one more. So.
This hour flew.
Awesome. We love to hear that. All right, let's see what the bull knows for the last one. I mean, the bull has proven us wrong. It might not be the last one. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, what event started your positive sign Thursday?
Oh, that's actually really easy. That wasn't actually an event. Brian McCann, if you're out there. Brian went to a conference and heard about it, I believe, from an educator in Chicago. It is a hashtag and just a sign like this with a positive message. And you take pictures and you share them on social media. And so he had brought it back to Massachusetts. Our dear friend Marty Gagan did it with him, and then I started it with my kids, and then my friend Kim, Marty works in the school with my friend Kim and a couple other people, so they actually do one sign for the whole district. They got their whole district involved, whoever wanted to do it. So there are schools that do it that way, and then there's tried. It happened a few times in my school, but I do it. And now BICO does it. One of my parents from last year worked in a BICO room. I don't know if everybody knows what BICO is, but it's the room with the children with severe special needs. So in the wheelchairs, can't communicate, but those kids are doing it now, which is great to see. And this year, I have social media ambassador room jobs, and those kids are coming up with the signs.
That's fabulous. What's the hashtag? Do you know, Rayna?
Hashtag positive sign Thursday.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so all anybody has to do is look for that on Thursday, and you'll see a whole slew. Usually it's anywhere from like 50 to 75 tweets of kids from all over the country holding up signs of positive messages. And I think in our world, the more that we can do for kids, student agency, and showing positivity and spreading positive vibes is great. And it's cool because the kids get to see other kids' signs, and then I actually do the wakelet at the end of the day where I curate them all and then share it out so that way they're all in one place.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And it's free.
Yes.
And lots of smiles.
That's one of the things I love to see on Twitter is when Rayna posts her positive sign Thursdays.
Yeah, at one point I was actually doing it myself. Like I challenged myself and made signs all summer. So wherever I went, like I had the weird, like positive sign Thursday at the Dave Matthews Band concert, positive sign Thursday at Alice Keeler's Breakfast EDU. Like it didn't matter where I was, I just whipped the sign out. Like people almost expected it. Because I think I had it at BLC when we were there. I brought it around Boston.
I love it.
Because you can take it, you can travel with it. So you might have time for another question. That was an easy one.
It was. I just want to add some have sign will travel.
Yes. And I love that the kids are Googling like inspirational quotes and like things to say.
That is fun. I think we can squeeze one more question in here. I don't know where I'm going to squeeze it, but let's do it. I like the positive Thursday thing. I know Keisha is here. Keisha and I actually work together. She's our school psychologist and does a lot of gratitude work and things like that. And that's fun because we do a gratitude pause every Thursday. So that would be easy for us to, even my classroom, to weave in to our day.
And I actually, just so everybody knows, because I think it's important, I ask the kids who want to be in the picture. They're not forced to be in it. Kids should always have the choice if they want their picture to be blasted on social media. I do have parent permission for all of my kids, but it's the kids' choice if they want to be photographed all the time.
100%. Love it. All right, here we go. Last one. So my Annabeth helps me with these questions, and I think sometimes she plots on us. Have you ever played Sudoku? If so, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you?
No. So I'd be a 0, but I can tell you. Hold on. Yeah, I was never into the number puzzles, but I think I'd be good at it. Not because I have a brain like that. I'm trying to look it up so that way I can give you the accurate answer. I am currently, I started playing Wordle 33 games ago. I am at 100% win streak. I've had all 33. I've had no 6-word guesses 7 and 5 words, 11 and 4 words, 14 and 3 words, and 1 and 1. So I get the whole spatial thing with Wordle. So I think I'd be good at Sudoku if I actually tried it.
I have not played Wordle yet. I played once, didn't understand it. I need somebody to explain it to me. So I'm at a 0 on that. I do not do the Sudoku. My brain does not work like that. So I'm like at a -5 on those things.
This is Wordle.
Yes, I have seen it.
So you guess a 5-letter word.
Yep.
And if the tiles are gray, it means no, those letters aren't in it.
Okay.
If it's yellow, it's that letter's in it, but not in the right spot. And if it's green, for you visual learners, it's in the right spot.
Wait, green is in the right spot?
Yes.
And then is there purple, or is that another form of Wordle?
This is just green, yellow, and gray. So I actually have one of my room jobs is the morning meeting host. And so my morning meeting host has been playing Wordle with the 5th graders on the smart board. But it's so funny because if they say, say they say a word, it's got an E in it, but then there's no E in it, and the next kid says a word with an E in it, the kids are like, no, don't put that in because we already know there's no E. But they've learned how important phonetics is and understanding sounds, right? Like if a letter starts with an S, what goes with it? If a letter starts with a T, what goes with it? You know, your diphthongs, your digraphs, like all the things you teach in 3rd grade. And then as the kids get older, it sort of dissipates. But there are a lot of kids and adults too, who still need a reminder. I think this game has been great for that. I'll be curious to see what happens, only because I think it was the New York Times bought it out. You never know what's going to happen. This guy built the app for his girlfriend.
Crazy.
And it took off. So
I also play Wordle. Now my streak, I mean, I don't have any misses. I've gotten it every day. I do have one day that was 6. I only have 1. But I tell you what, if I get to 4 and I'm guessed it, I start sweating. I was like, oh no, because I don't want to lose that streak.
Yeah, you get nervous. I told the kids they can look up 5-letter words and things because they don't have the vernacular that we have.
Yes.
Right.
But I think it's good for them to be able to look up words and think about how words work when they're doing it.
Agreed. It's a good strategy too.
So on my Wordle today, I didn't for real today get it in 2, but on this I got it in 2.
Nice. Winner, winner.
That's right, because it's my drawing, so I can win in 2.
Yeah. So what I found fascinating about Wordle is everyone thought it was an app, and it's just web-based.
Yes. Yeah, it is just web-based. Yeah.
So people were saying, "Where do I go?"
I know. I think I saw like a meme or something like that. Like they need to buy the .com because it's so backwards about where it even is online.
Yep.
So I did hear though that even though it was bought out, it's still going to be free. They're still going to try to do it exactly the same way. So I hope that's true, because I do enjoy. My husband also plays it, and so we always try to see if we can get it in fewer words than the other person. So that's fun.
That is fun.
Today we tied.
My husband would kick my butt. He's a big Scrabble person. Whatever that word game is that he plays, he's really good at that. I will try. Tomorrow I will try the word. Unless
it's released at midnight. I've been up the last couple nights. I'm up. So I see it switch over. I'm like, woohoo. But then you can, and the other nice thing is you can only do it once.
Right. No pressure.
None.
All right. Can we see your final Doodle and Chat? We'll show everybody our final Doodle and Chats, and then
mine
up. I can show mine first.
You tell me. How do you want to do it? You're in charge.
We'll have you go first. We'd love to see yours.
All right. So after I drew everything on here, I realized the common theme of mine is community.
Yes.
Because I am part of all these communities. I'm now part of the Doodle and Chat community. I'm part of the Ed Tech community, my Massachusetts, Florida. I guess I'm part of a sweet potato community. I'm part of the MassQ community, the positive sign community, and now the people who play Wordle.
That's right.
So I actually had a theme for my Doodle and Chat tonight, which I didn't realize from the questions you asked. And I'm part of my Northeastern community, and anyone that's, fought hard to get a dissertation, because as Mandi and I will tell you, it's not easy. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears and hours.
Yes, it is.
So yes, that is my doodle.
I love it. I love how you kind of went backwards right into it,
Yep.
Or zoomed in, I guess, or I don't know, or zoomed out, whichever way you want to look at it. I'll let Mandi finish up and I'll show mine. This is super fun. I don't know that I jam-packed some stuff in here. So, it's all Rayna all the time. It's a party. It's a Rayna party. But it was just so fun to like mash up the Alice in Wonderland and the agents. I think I could have filled up a whole page on the Secret Agents thing. And then listening about your dissertation was just so fun. And then I didn't know that you traveled to Florida, so that was fun to do. And I love the East Coast too. So it was, fun to hear your perspective on that. But yeah, it's all Rayna. All Rayna.
It makes me so happy. I love to look at it. I love that you draw this on paper and that you stick the stuff down, the questions down. And I know we talked about that again last week, but it still just makes my heart happy.
Yeah, it is a fun way. We've talked about that before on other previous Doodle and Chats. It's a unique way to think about sketchnoting if you want to do it with kids in your classroom,
We do it all the time.
Yeah, so do we. Yeah. We do a lot of Post-its in my classroom.
The kids just I'm teaching them about the rebellions that aren't in the history book, Bacon's Rebellion and a couple others. And I had them sketchnote because they're writing an opinion piece of whether or not they think those rebellions should be in the history textbooks.
Nice.
So they had to use their sketchnote to write.
Well, we are all preaching to the choir here. At least Mandi and I, and obviously you now. But it's just adds so much anchoring for kids and another level of support that you just don't have to give if everything's visual and there's words in front of them, right?
Yep. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. And there's your toothy potato.
Oh, I love what you do with the magnifying glass, though. That is mad cool.
That is really sweet. That's cool.
Thanks.
And the little Easter egg of the ice cream cone.
Sitting on the end of the gangplank.
It is. And there's Rayna and her beautiful hair.
That's right.
I have to tell you, I'm just glad my hair is back.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite long.
Yeah, it thinned like on the side. So if I pull it back, I have like racing stripes, but I was lucky. I lost a lot, but you couldn't tell because I still had the top layer. It was weird. And then it did not grow back the way I thought it would. Like everyone's like usually like they grow back curly or thicker. No, mine just came back the way it was.
I haven't missed a beat here, Rayna. That's what your hair said. We're just going to keep on going.
Right. It's like you were fabulous before. We're just going to return you to fabulous.
There's no need to change anything, right?
That's right.
All right. I'm going to turn off our doodle cameras. All right, Mandi and I want to just thank everybody, especially Dr. Rayna Freedman, for being here with us, filling us with inspiration. And I know for me, just reminders to continue to strive to build community in my classroom and in my own life, because there's value in those things. And Rayna shares all of that today. We're just so happy that you were here with us. Our next Doodle and Chat, we actually have 3 this month. I know. Is actually next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're having we've invited Yaritza. I don't want to say her last name wrong. B, and she's an assistant principal out in Brooklyn, and we're super excited to have her. She's got a new children's book coming out. I don't want to say her last. I even asked her how to say it so I could say it right tonight. She's going to be like, Carrie, I told you how to say it, and I still don't want to say it wrong. But we're really excited to have Yaritza on with us next week on Wednesday, February 16th at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you are here now or you're watching later and you doodle and then chatted with us, we would love for you to snap a picture of your doodle and chat and share it out on Twitter using hashtag Doodle and Chat, because we love to see all the fun that everybody has here with us.
Oh, it's my friend Tiffany. Tiffany,
Yay.
You have to know this. I know, Carrie, you know Tiffany, right?
Yes.
She's done your doodle ones with your daughter.
Yes.
Tiffany's daughter was Agent 1, right? Tiffany, Agent 1, my second year. Is that right? If she's still here, I think that's accurate.
That's crazy.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yes. And then Tiffany and I were colleagues for a while.
How fun. How fun. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. And we hopefully will see you next Wednesday. And thank you again, Dr. Rayna Freedman. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, look, Agent 1.
You got it right.